incredible performance from Zeka. Don't want to take anything away from him as Subin is there ready for the interview. And the Super Soldier coming online towards the end of the season is exactly what you want to be seeing if you are an HLE fan.
I think HLE, this is the bounce back win you really needed. Came in kind of on our side of things, on the global side, as big underdogs today and walked away as consistent as they were when they were on peak, on form. That's always the question. What form are you going to get? And I think with Delight in, the form looks great.
Exactly right. Now it is time for us to throw it over to the interview, though. So take it away, dear.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POM interview translation, joined by Zeka on the side of Hana Life Esports. Congratulations! This 2-0 victory means that you have a chance for first place in the Legend group. How do you feel? Against D plus Kia today, we actually lost against them in round 3, but just winning against them today makes me feel very happy, and just given that we still have a chance to get first place is an amazing feeling. And with today's POM, you have reached 800 POM points. So how much do you think you contributed to today's victory? No, I just think I did what I had to do, and getting voted, honestly, I'm really grateful and it's such a blessing. And I just feel like it's a bit surreal because it's been a while since I got a POM. Yeah, and games 1 and 2, they were both very 50-50. Such an exciting match to watch, but what was the trickiest part about facing D plus Kia? I mean, I think D plus Kia has very well-rounded players who are they tend to be very excelled at laning phase and also very good at team fighting. So I think it's just that we had to focus on our early laning phase and just make sure that we can play out the team fights well. And in game 1, HLE went for top Camille, and there were some changes she went through this patch. So do you consider it as a buff for top Camille? Yeah, Camille actually went through a lot of changes with the patch. And I felt like, it's actually really viable as a solo laner. And Camille herself is actually a champion that Zeus is actually very good at. So I think we were able to utilize Camille in various ways. But that Camille ran into a little bit of trouble early, but Kanabi and you worked together to reset that with the dive. So whose call was that? Yeah, the call was that if we didn't do anything top, then it would actually be quite dicey for us on the long term. So I think I just had faith in Zeus to actually go with maybe 80% mana left for myself. So is it because you ended up sacrificing yourself? I think it's just that we're quite experienced in these kind of situations, so that's why mid and jungle, we all just have to work collaboratively together and just have faith in each other. How does it feel to feel that love from your fans? That's a feeling that I haven't felt in a while, so I'm just really grateful. I hope that I can actually create more instances where I can be on the POM zone. And in game 1, with the Baron getting stolen, the game didn't go your way, but every team fight, you were able to get a pick on the enemy Yunara. So how were you able to find this angle? I think our Alistar and Camille was the only ones to actually go for that Yunara, who was actually their sole damage dealer, so we had to actually go in whenever we could. And in game 2, it looked like the opponents were trying to get prior in every lane. So what was your discussion as a team? I think it's just that we had a better value in terms of drafts, so we had to maintain and just we have to make sure that we have sustain and just try to play out our laning phase well. And let's talk about your performance. Well, our team right now, it feels like we are not actually up to par as how we normally are able to perform. So I think it's really important for us to keep our focus on improving our performance until the very end. And there's still a chance, like you said, to get first place, and your last opponent for round 4 will be T1. What is your mindset? I think our last match is going to be a banger. I just want to make sure that we prepare well so that we can make sure that we can secure another victory with a great performance. And that is all from Zeka, and back to the desk. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear Yaya. As it is a victory here for Hanwha Life Esports 2-0. They're able to close this one out here against D+. Both matches back and forth by both these squads, and great to see Hanwha Life Esports back in the form that we know that they're capable of doing, and that's what Zeka said in most of his interview. It was getting to the form that we know we can be at, being consistent.
And that's the important thing, because I think when we've seen these teams perform, we've seen HLE perform at such fantastic levels, but recently it's been D+ who had the edge in their form, and I think that HLE have shown a real level of back to the sort of play we've expected from them over the course of the year. And even though the matches were close, the games were individually close, it's a decisive 2-0 victory.
Spoiler alert, I didn't vote for Zeka, but I almost did. I think it's kind of illegal to give give Zeka pressure in the priority lane, because this guy is the best at converting his pressure into the other lane, so that gives a lot of advantage for the team.
This makes me sad. It's 4 top row votes. It's 4 and 4, and then 3 to 1 on the bottom row.
I mean, to be fair,
this is as close as it could be.
I mean,
what do they have to do? What do supports have to do for the justice? He just came back from his time watching away from the team. He makes the comeback plays in the mid lane.
I thought Korean.
He gets the Seraphine ults. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
I thought Koreans like the storylines. So I thought Delight is gonna get the POM.
I actually said this. I'm gonna say I said this after game 1.
Yes.
When he was like, "Oh, Delight's playing so well, he's gonna get POM." I said it's not gonna happen. And he's like, "No, it will. It will." I believe.
Yeah, we do like the storylines, but at the same time, his Seraphine in the game 2 was also phenomenal. So, but the thing is, Zeka with Rise, he had such a great moment in the early game, pushing the mid lane and invading with Kanabi. Anyways, I didn't vote for him though. What a way to come back. I like Delight being so aggressive. When he's on playmaking champion, he's on point always.
Yeah, and my comment was really just about how when the enemy has a fed carry, it just does not matter. Delight will handle it. And he really did that in that game 1. I was like, this Janara is so strong. Is this just the game is lost? The answer is no. He will just find that carry and kill them.
I mean, it was just crazy that he found that angle 3 times in a row, because you have to play against Jarvan and TF and Lulu as well. I think it was just one of the best games we ever had.
Yeah, very solid. Welcome back to Delight as he's able to make those plays and steal some EN comments. Who knew oranges had so much vitamin D? That's Delight, you know?
Wow.
It's so funny because
it's so good.
Wolf put this comment in the group chat, but I didn't know who he'd voted for yet. So when I saw, I was like, what did he mean by this? What? It makes sense when I see the name.
Vitamin D.
Yeah,
stands for Delight.
There was exactly, but when I hadn't seen the name, I was like,
there was a drink back in the day, Sunny Delight, Sunny D.
Sunny D.
Yeah,
Sunny D.
Yeah, but it was for Sunny Delight.
Yeah.
Wolf used the
no, it's a good comment. I'm just saying it was confusing when I didn't know the full context. I didn't know.
That's why it's so good. You know?
Yeah, it works.
Dodge Ball King Zeka
with his Orianna.
Yeah. Again, dissonance and bigger dissonance, as the casters like to call it today. The all-arounder mid laner.
Yeah. So basically, he's good at everything: laning, team fighting, late game.
I thought this was more about how, any champion.
Oh, yeah.
More.
That's it.
So much more. You think back to the early days of Zeka being more of a melee champion player, and now he just had a series he played extremely well on Rise and Orianna.
I mean, it's been a great year for Zeka. Again, currently now second in POM points, but unfortunately behind Chovy, who had himself a great year as well. I don't want that to go unnoticed. And here's the final one from for Kanavi. Hanwha Life Esports' striker, without a doubt, says Umpty. Again, all the guys with the jersey numbers. Kanavi's number 1? 7? 1? I think he's 1. I think he's number 1. Someone will correct me.
I think it's 7.
7?
Maybe 6?
5.
7?
I said this though.
G-Sum did not like that vote as we go to the standings here. And it is Hanwha Life Esports with a important win here, but it didn't quite clinch anything yet. What this does mean is that T1 and KT will do battle later on for KT's playoff life. And if T1 win, then it sets up a playoff bye matchup here for Hanwha Life Esports and T1 on our final day of the regular season.
It's just crazy how close things still are. I know obviously Gen G's lost player of round 2, but there's still quite a bit in the air despite this being our last week and things are marching on. D+, if they'd won this one, would have really put a hammer towards KT's chances, but now things still very contentious.
It hurts so much for DK today because I think, especially the game 1, they almost got it, but I think a few misplays, it had to happen, you know. And I think for DK, it's still looking positive though. I still think they have the fundamentals. So I feel like every game is like, now if you have, like for today, if you have a good condition, then you're gonna have a good game, you know. And then tomorrow it can be like complete different story as well. So like that's just full of chaos.
Yeah, I think for D+ here, just still a great showing in a lot of these series since we've come back from MSI. It's been early fight, early on, and then whoever wins that takes control of the game, and that's basically it, unless there's a throw. In both these series, back-to-back fights by both these squads. It's going to be very exciting to see how they move forward in the playoffs if D+ will be able to punch their ticket later. Speaking of trying to punch your ticket to playoffs, this is a huge one for the play-ins. It's 8th versus 9th right now. Nongshim Red Force versus Kiwoom DRX. Kiwoom DRX need a big victory here to keep their hopes alive. We'll have this one after the break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the LCK.
드라마는 끝났다고요? 아닙니다. 바로 2부 시작입니다. 확실히 달라진 모습. 돌아온 젠지. 4연승을 쭉쭉 뻗어나가고요. 와, 결국 호랑이 물에서 패패했던 젠지가 오히려 세상 밖으로 나와서 이기나요?
Every sky is a line I've drawn. Every wall is a sign I've worn. I don't just win, I carve my name into the storm.
A summoner has reconnected. Destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed an enemy has
In fact, that career of him jumping into CV Max's arms at the T1 home ground. Like, they won, and it's like, it's a video smash, and like, oh, he's like wiping his hair. And then out of nowhere, Career comes into the frame and jumps into CV Max, and he just catches him, and CV Max is carrying him like a baby, like a big baby. And they like bounce up twice, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Because so many times when we see those kind of interactions, it's like, okay, we're gonna have to trust that the player's trusting CV Max, who's educating him right now. In this case, it was very clear.
How many teams have done trust falls? That's my question. Okay?
It's a good point.
You know, if you're like a coach or a manager, you get the new roster at the start of the year. It's like, guys, day one, get off the computers, we're doing trust falls.
Yeah.
Maybe that happened in some teams, and I don't know, maybe a certain 80 carry didn't catch a certain mid laner, and that's why he got...
I knew you were going there, I'm so glad you did.
And now it's like, okay, Andal, are you ready? You know, Andal's a little...
Alright, the actually at this point is kind of hitting, and this time he doesn't have a Nautilus to help him out. And I think Perfect knows he doesn't quite have the damage, and there is the buffer. On the Q3, nicely done for the shutdown. Once again on the board. As trying to fight for vision here, essentially. Baron is up. We've seen more earlier Barons in recent times. And yep, it's gonna send it. Okay, and find Ruler and the Timbers. Find three of them in the Cataclysm. And now we got a Bane on the loose. As Zeus is all the room in the world. Very nice kick though, as here comes Yoma trying to make something of it, but the shield saves his life. And now the room from Guma will be excellent to try to lock down Canyon.
Will the bros find Okay, now Paranoia does come in. Possible delivery as the ball does nothing at all. Ahead with the black hole Absolutely insane as they're crushed under the weight of this gargoyle. And King is just running into very straightforwardly and is able to take down the bottom lane as a result. Roma just left.
Win, so credit to MP in the charge.
Uh-oh.
Trying to find the pocket. He's gonna
get away with this one. And now the double taunt is going to come in. Now big surfing, although with a tough catch 3. And just like that, they easily clean up the 6. Exactly what the top wants to do and easily run right into it. Oh, it's the
말이 안 되네 이거.
Taking a lot of damage here. This is the poke that we were talking about. Plasma comes in, Doran taking a lot of damage off to the side. And now, oh my god, Korea, you monster! Doran dies immediately, Pace follows through, Vega pushed away in deep blood. They turn on a dime, and she wants to leave the blink. Vector's dead. Rift Metal need to help more to make this happen.
Aced. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. Your team has destroyed a turret. A summoner has disconnected. Victory!